Do you guys think there will ever be a language that we will all speak and only that language will we speak?
English. No.
Just English?
Yes, just English because the schools are mostly in English. Most of them. That's what I think.
Yeah? Okay. So you're saying it's already developing into everybody speaking English?
Yeah.
What languages do you guys speak and why are they important to you?
Because we can speak
Okay.
English and Spanish because I can talk to people.
And you?
Me too. English, a little bit of Spanish.
And why is it important?
And Arabic.
Oh, okay.
Arabic, okay.
All right.
And why is it important
Why
to
is it
you?
important to you?
So I can speak to people.
So communication.
Can you say that
basically,
louder?
that's-
Yeah, so I can speak to people.
Listen to me. So, do you think we should keep the other languages apart from English just because they're like important to everybody else?
Yes. Yes.
Why?
Why do you think so?
Because people don't understand and they have different accents, so people from that talk English. Yeah, and the people that talk English won't understand the other people because they don't know how to talk properly English or something.
What might a global language look like in the future?
I think it will be English because a lot of people like already speak that language and it's like the most famous one. So I think it will be English.
Should we preserve minority languages as important markers of cultural and ethnic identity?
Well, I think yes because it's like respect to those cultures and what like identify them from like the other cultures is their language. So I think we should respect their cultures.
Okay, so what languages do you speak and what languages do we learn in the school?
So I speak Spanish, English, and Hebrew, and in the school they teach us Spanish, English, and French.
With Ritter and Panchis?
He's my baby.
Okay. And we'd like to ask you a few
I'm out this
questions.
house.
So the first question is what languages do you speak and why do you think they're so important?
I speak English, Spanish, and a little bit of French. I
Okay.
speak Spanish because that's my lengua materna, because I was born in Colombia, as a matter of fact. So I speak that since a young age. I speak English, and I think it's important because in the future, it is really important for your jobs, and a lot of jobs in the future are asking you to know English. It's also the language I learned, which is, of course, I also is the language that I have more culture around me because I'm in an international school. And French is not important because it's a stupid language, and I do not care about learning it. So yeah.
And so what do you think about the globalization of a language? Basically like everybody speaking the same language everywhere. For
It
example,
would be nice, but for example, not one language, like similar language. Let's say Spanish or English, or Spanish and Portuguese are very similar languages,
Yeah.
of course. So it would be nice to like have everyone either speak one of those two languages or three, as a matter of fact. That way we could all like communicate and see what's going on. But of course, we still can have one language because different languages have different slang terms, and that of course brings more culture and identity and being like yourself by speaking the language. So yeah.
So that leads on to the next question, which is, you do think that there should be minority languages kept around, so basically like other languages that wouldn't be kept.
So of course that would be important. For example, tribes before they were colonized and stuff,
Yeah.
they were really important because they had their own languages, and of course that really is part of their culture and part of their own like brand and themselves. So of course it is a very special thing to them, and it would be nice if they also could learn their own language, of course, to like so that we can communicate easier with them. Because I'm not gonna spend my time learning an Indian language, but of course I still respect the language and I still respect that it's a beautiful thing that they have their own culture.
Yeah.
So I think of that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Goodbye.
All right, so since we already know your perspective on the globalization of a language, and you already talked about the minority languages, how they're like, could you go into depth about that? Why we should preserve them or why we shouldn't preserve minority
Well,
languages?
because I think the language we speak in is a part of our identity. So if you have to change your native language to something that everybody else speaks to be understood, I mean, yeah, it's good because you get understood, but you also lose a little bit of yourself, you know?
So you're saying like
in the country.
culturally, it's like
Yeah.
very important for you to keep
Yeah.
that language.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
So what languages do you speak and why are they important to you?
I speak Spanish, English, and a little bit of French.
Why are they important to you?
They're important to me because they help me communicate with people from all around the world. So like if I have to go to the USA, I can speak English, or if I'm here, I can speak Spanish, and if I go to France, I can speak French.
Okay.
That's really nice.
Yeah.